Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. We've spent the next hour and a half together tuning our body and our mind. So let's start with some stretch exercise, stretching the back, stretching the shoulders, and stretching the internals, basically the diaphragm that separates our internals. And we do that by deep breathing. So we start by locating our belly button, and then there's an energy point about 2 fingers below the belly buttons that the Chinese believe that this is the energy points that we develop when we were a fetus. This is where all the energy from a mom comes into our body when we were inside the womb. And so this has a name called the qi, the sea of qi. Now, in the Chinese, the sea doesn't necessarily mean like the ocean. It can just mean a lake, a pond. It's a reservoir. It's a place where you store the qi. Now, there's another energy points right here between the nose and the top of the lip. And this is actually the intersection of the 2 primary vessels, the one that goes all the way around, then that's the yang qi. And then starting here is the exchange of the yang and the yin and starting. So when we do a deep breathing, we are actually starting from the sea of the qi to right here, which is what we call the middle of being. And now we put the fingers together, put it right below the belly button, sit up straight, open the shoulder. And you need to do this very gently. All right. So as you breathe in, you lift up your hand and then you lift up your body at the same time. And when you reach the middle of being, then you breathe out and you're looking up the ceiling. Okay. As you breathe out. Okay. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now lock your elbows, stretch your fingers, and then unlock your fingers. Keep stretching your elbow as if you're climbing a mountain to stretch the upper part of the arm. There's a yang energy line called the triple warmer, which ties all the internals together. And so it's a big part of the diaphragm as well. All right, now relax. Second time, breathe in. Breathe out. Stretch your fingers, lock your elbow, and then climb the mountain. Okay, stretching the upper arm. Back again, one last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Climb the mountain. All right. So now we're going to start to stretch the back, the spine. The spine is actually it's the one energy line that coincides exactly with the body part, and that's the spine. This is what we call the governing vessel. All the yang energy goes up through our spine, and all the yang energies are the one that facing the sun. Okay. Now, so lock your fingers again, palm facing up, palm facing down, and then stretch your elbow. Eyes forward, bring up your hand, feel the stress on your finger and your wrist. Lock your elbow now. Okay, bring it up. And now focus on the lower back and then push the upper body, stretch. And then lean back, hold it, come back in the middle, push, and then lean to the left, hold it. Feel the stress on your finger and your elbow. Push, lean to the right, hold it, come back in the middle. Stretch to the left, come back to the middle. Stretch to the right, come back in the middle, and then relax. Now we're still doing meditation, right? So when we're doing exercise, we're doing meditation as well. It's just that it's a meditation in motion, whereas now we're meditating in a stationary form. Stationary forms are sitting, standing, lying down, and then meditation in motion is when you're walking and you're doing exercise. When we're in motion, we're mindful of our body. When we're in stationary form, we're mindful of our breath. We start by knowing our breath. Know that I'm breathing in, feel the in breath. Know that I'm breathing out. Feel the out breath. Okay, it's very important to maintain that balance between the yang and the yin. The yang is the energetic, and the yin is the restorative. Right? In modern terms, that's the difference between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The difference between the fight or flight versus the rest and digest. Very important to maintain that balance. Okay, now we continue. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, putting the right hand on the left shoulder, lean back the forehead. Okay, so you can feel the stress on your right shoulder. Now grab the right elbow. The entire body lean to the left, hold it, and then come back. Do the other hand, sit up straight. Entire body to the right, and then relax. Back to the breathing. You have to retrain your body so the body knows that when you were in danger, when you're doing exercise, even when you're just running or stretching, the body doesn't know the difference. It thinks that you're being chased by a lion. So it puts out all the stress hormone, which is what you want. Because if there were no stress hormone, you wouldn't have the blood flow into your brain and you get lightheaded. Okay. But as soon as you finish, you have to retrain your body and say, oh, all the dangers are gone. It's important now to dissipate all the stress hormone, restore my immune system, restore my digestive system, and so forth and so on. Okay. All right. Back again. Open your shoulder. Relax the shoulder. Now we're going to take up a left hand, palm facing up. Right hand, put it between your finger and your palm. Bring it down the hand gently. And then now push out the elbow. Push it out, lock it, eyes forward. Use your elbow to push up your hand. You feel the stress on your finger and your wrist. Lift it up all the way to the eyebrow. Now, without turning your body, okay, look straight ahead. Take your left hand and take it all the way to the right, as far as you can go. And then relax. Now to the right hand. Sit up straight. Bring it down. Push out your elbow. Eyes forward without turning your body. Lift up your right arm all the way to the eyebrow. Okay, now take your right hand and then take it to the right, looking straight ahead, and then come back and relax. Back again to the restorative. Okay. When we were cavemen, we were either outside the cave or inside the cave. When we're outside the cave, it's fight or flight. When we're inside the cave, it's rest and digest. Okay, continue. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Okay, now when you open the shoulder, mindful of these two energy points, this is called the gate to the cloud. So you open that. And then after you open, you have to release, mindful of the two energy points on the top, called the well on the shoulder. All right, open it and then relax. Okay, now this is very important. When you open this, you're actually opening the lung energy. And then when you relax, you're relaxing the what we call the gallbladder energy. The gallbladder energy has to do with wind, has to do with the nerve in to the top of your head, right? So you open and then you relax. Now you take your right hand, palm facing up, making a 90 degree. Then take the other hand facing down, also making 90 degree. You open your shoulder. And now you imagine the sky has fallen onto the top of your right palm. You push up the sky. And then now imagine for some reason the earth have popped up into the center of your left palm and you push down the earth. So now you're supporting the earth and the heaven. Now you take your right hand, you bring it back, and then you rotate your head to the left until you reach the shoulder, no more, okay? Now you keep turning your eye as if you're looking at your back, and then you bring back your eye, and you bring back your head, and then you relax. Now you do the other side. Palm facing up, palm facing down, open the shoulder, okay? Push up the sky, push down the earth, lean back the left hand, turn the head to the right. Keep turning. Okay, now the head reach the shoulder. That's enough. And then now turn your eye until you see the back. And then eyes come back, and then head come back. And then now you can relax. Okay? All right. So now let's take a couple of breaths. Watch your breath. Okay, now it's very important that when we do exercise, we give it enough time so that we don't huff and puff. Okay? Huffing and puffing from the Chinese standpoint is not good because you're using up the essence of your lung energy. And then now you open your shoulder, relax your shoulder. We're going to stretch the dragon's back. Okay, that's okay. Now we sit up straight and we put our hands together below our lower back, palm facing up. Now palm facing down. We stretch until we lock the elbow. Now you focus on the center of the palm and the top of the head at the same time. You push down the arm, the hand, and then you lift up your head. Stretch. This is going to hurt. And then relax. Now you move from the top of the head to the forehead, and you lift up your hand and you lean back the forehead and hold it, and then relax. Back to the breathing, back to the restorative. Check two things. Make sure that you're not huffing and puffing. You do that by watching your breath. I know that I'm breathing in, relax. I know that I'm breathing out, relax. And then also you check the inside of your mouth and you see if the inside of your mouth is dry. Whenever you are in the fight or flight, the adrenaline and the cortisol would be the signal to every part of the body, especially the saliva gland. It's going to turn off your saliva. So this is when you know that you're under stress. So you want to make sure that the inside of the mouth is not dry. You do that by close your mouth and then put the tip of the tongue right behind this energy point that I mentioned, right? That I talked about. And so that happened to be where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. And then just let yourself hydrate, self-hydrate. Okay, now we continue. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. I always say that. I say, always say, open your shoulder, relax your shoulder, because it's just that important, okay? Now you take your right hand, you put that, and you point your two fingers towards the lower back. You lean back your forehead, okay? Now you lift up your right shoulder and you point down the fingers, and then relax. Now you take your left hand, you do the same. You point it to your lower back, you sit up straight, you lift up your left shoulder, you point it down, and then relax. Back to the restorative. Okay, open your shoulder. Take your right hand, you put the back of your hand at the lower back. You point the two fingers to the shoulder, the left shoulder. You lower your right shoulder and you point your fingers up, and then you relax. The other way. Okay. Now then you point it to the right shoulder. You lower your left shoulder and you lift up your fingers. And then you take your right hand. The two fingers are touching. You sit up straight, the top of the head pointing to heaven. Right shoulder up, left shoulder down, and then relax. The other side. Sit up straight, left shoulder up, right shoulder down, and then relax. Once I say relax, quickly come back to the breathing. Okay, one final exercise called the reverse Buddha. Open your shoulder. See, I always open your shoulder. And then relax your shoulder. Put your palms together, fingers touching. Put that on your lower back, fingers pointing down. Now rotate so fingers are pointing up. Lift up your hand, put that on your back. Sit up straight, top of the head pointing the sky. Now use your hand to push out, push your spine, and then open your shoulder. Hold it. Now relax. Okay. Now we're going to sit for 5 minutes. Okay. So you train your body the same way that we train the Marine. Okay. So when we train the Marine, we have to make sure that when they're ready to fight, they have all their adrenaline. Okay. But once they finish fighting, their danger's over, then it's very important for them to relax and rest and digest. Right. So they train the Marines the same way. Right. It's very important that whenever there's a break in battle, they know how to rest and they know how to fall back to sleep, right? It's the same way with the astronaut. I remember back in the days when we were still landing the moon, they interviewed the astronauts and asked them about the training. He says, what's the hardest part about your the launch? He says, the hardest part about the launch is going to sleep the night before. And that requires a lot of training. Okay, so you are training the body between the dynamic and the steady state. Okay, when we're in motion, whether you're exercising or walking, mindful of your body. Focus on the body. Focus on any part of the body. Center of the palms, the center of the bottom of your feet, any part of the body. But when you're stationary, you focus on your breathing. Okay, but you focus it here, not here. Okay, this is a, if you have any experience in meditation, this is the hardest part, is to move away from the nostril and focus on here, because here is too close to the brain. All right, too close to the brain. And that's one of the problem with meditation, is that people often complain about some of the side effect of meditation. The reason is that when we're not used to be so quiet, and when our other sensors are quiet, the brain is very, very active. It's very dangerous. So you need to learn to move away from the brain and focus on the belly button. So this is on the belly. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to learn how to meditate on our belly, and this happens to be 1,000-year-old technique for cultivating the, what we call the um, uh, the prenatal chi, right? The chi that we were given when we were inside the mother's womb, the yin chi. Okay. All right. So now we do this by starting with the body. Okay. It's very important that we sit properly. I'll explain one step at a time. So first of all, if you sit on the chair, which is perfectly fine, you don't have to sit like me, or even in a full lotus position, and just make sure that the bottom of your feet are firmly on the ground. Okay, we sit like the bell, so the feet are like the pedestal. Okay, and if you sit like me, whether you do this one in front of another, one on top of each other, both on top, doesn't matter. Make sure that you're not lifting up your feet. If you are lifting up your feet like this, you're actually using muscle. So put some pillows. Okay, all right, and all right. I don't know how many of you have attended what is called a 10-day Vipassana. And so this is where you spend, actually, it's 12 days. It's 10 full day plus traveling. So it's 12 days. And where you don't talk, it's what we call the noble silence. And you don't eat any kind of meat, and you don't even have dinner. Dinner is some juice, right? That's all you get, some juice and fruits. And you meditate every day. And the one thing that, and you cannot bring anything into the meditation hall except pillows. So very often, if you sit in the front and all of a sudden you turn around and there's just like mountains of pillows. So it's very important to put pillows, make sure that nice and firm. Don't use muscle. If you use muscle, you create fire. And when we sit, we want to sit with the earth element. Okay. All right. That's number one. Number two are the hands. So a lot of you want to do this. I wouldn't recommend that. If you want to do this, you do this. Right. Or if you want to do this, do this. Right? Don't lift up your hand. Again, it's about the fire. And the third part is the spine. This is actually the most important, right? The spine is like the center of the bell. It needs to be hang from the ceiling. And so you start at the lower back, you lift up your lower back, you continue up to your neck, up to the top of the head, as if you're lifting your spine up and hang it on the ceiling and then relax. All right. Now, the next part is the shoulder. This is the one that we're all very familiar with, which is open your shoulder and then relax your shoulder, right? All right. So now it comes to the fifth part, which is the head, right? This is 25% your body weight. You don't want to be doing this, because if you do this, you create a lot of stress in your neck. Again, it's fire. So what you want to do is be mindful of your forehead, and you go back until your neck is touching the collar, if you have one. If you're not, just imagine that you do. This is when the ears on top of the shoulder, the weight of the head is now on top of the spine. But then you notice that the top of the head is pointing back. So what you want to do now is you want to lower your chin until the top of the head. This is the energy point called 100 meet. This is all the yang energy coming together. You want that to be on top of your central nervous system. This is one pillar supporting the sky. Okay, there's another reason for doing this, is that you're putting a little bit of pressure right here. Okay, so those of you who have high blood pressure, this is actually the place where the body senses the amount of oxygen into your brain. And if you don't have good circulations, then it knows here. So by lowering your chin, you're putting a little pressure. Tell the body that relax. I don't need to pump up my heart so hard, so easily. Okay. Now the last two are the eyes and the tongue. So I want you to relax your forehead, relax between your eyebrow, relax your eyelids so you can actually see through your eyelashes. You see the floor, the hand, the knee. Okay, and then finally you get to the inside of your mouth. Again, I want you to feel the inside of your mouth. Is it dry? Sometimes it's dry to a point of being bitter. This tells you that you were under a lot of stress. So I want you to loosen up your jaw, close your mouth, put the tip of the tongue between the teeth and the roof of your mouth. You don't have to use any force, just touch it. Now comes the most important part. This is a what we're doing here for an hour and a half is just find different ways to explore the dimensions, the multi-dimensions of existence, one of which is the spiritual existence. It's very, very important now that you start with a sense of gratitude. You feel your body and you feel your breath. And be very grateful to what you have, your body, your breath, your health, your family, your parents, your spouse, your children, your brothers and sisters, your friends, your fellow students. Be grateful for the teachers. Once you're grateful, then you have the raw energy, the raw material to bring out that happiness into your face. It's very important that you lift up your corner of your mouth and you show that gratitude. When we meditate, we need to meditate from positive with positive energy. So you need to keep up that positive energy. Okay, so that's how you maintain your body. Now we come to the breathing. We start with knowing a breath. Know that I'm breathing in. Feel the body. Feel the breath. Know that I'm breathing out. Feel the body. Feel the breath. That's called knowing. Okay, now we go from knowing to anchoring. So now we anchor our mind onto a belly button. That energy point that I talk about, which is like 2 fingers below the belly button. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, use your mind as if you're taking that belly button and you take it all the way across the room. You don't actually have to do anything, just the mind is enough. And when you know that you're breathing out, it's as if you're taking that energy point and you're taking it all the way to the back. Now, it turns out that in the back, there's an energy point called the gate to life. So it's as if you're collapsing the two energy points. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, you move forward, and guess what? The body will follow. Okay, you don't have to beat the body into submission. Just use your mind. The body will follow. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, you go back. Focus entirely on your belly. Okay, breathe in, move forward. Okay, all right. So we spend the next 5 minutes doing exactly that. This is actually ancient technique for cultivating a chi. Back to our body now. Stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, relax the eyelid, keep the tip of the tongue on between the teeth and the roof of the mouth. Back to the breathing. Focus on the belly button. Breathe in, move forward. Breathe out, move back. Try to just observe the breathing as opposed to driving the breathing, okay? Just imagine that you're sitting here and the body is doing its own thing and you're just there to observe. Know that I'm breathing in, move forward. Know that I'm breathing out, move back. Now try not to use your brain, just focus on the belly button. Feel your body, don't use your analytical power. And pretty soon you feel a lot of warmth in your belly button and you feel that your brain is a little bit cool in comparison. Okay, maintain that feeling. We're going to use it later. Feel that warmth in the belly button. You can feel that warmth, and sometimes you can feel like there's something glowing in your belly button. Just feel it. Okay, open your eyes. Now, if you were to come to me and say, Denny, I hear that you used to be a businessman, you know how to manage your money and all that. And he says, and then you tell me, that I have some money and I want to ask you to manage it for me. And then I said, well, I can probably do that for you. Yeah, it's no problem. And then I ask you, well, where do you keep your money now? And he says, I don't know. I have no idea. What do you mean? I thought you had money. I do have money. I just don't know where they are. That would be ridiculous, right? Then how am I going to manage your money if you don't even know where they are? But imagine you come to me and says, I hear you're a spiritual practitioner, and I believe it's time for me to really find a way to um, train my mind. And that's what this hour and a half boot camp is all about. It's not just the body, it's the body and the mind. And then I ask you, I can do that, but where's your mind? And he says, I have no idea. I don't know where my mind is. It's everywhere. That wouldn't work, would it? So that's why what we're doing here is called mindfulness. It's just to know where your mind is. Once you know where your mind is, then you can work on it, right? So that's why we said when we're in motion, we're mindful of a body, right? We focus on the shoulder, we focus on the wrist, we focus on this and that. And when we're stationary, we're mindful of a breath. Okay, that's the beginning of cultivating your mind. It's the same as the beginning of cultivating your net worth. If you know where they are, you can start. If you don't know where they are, we can't start. Now, once you learn how to cultivate your mind by being mindful, right, focusing on your belly button, then two things happen, right? We call this Zen, right? Zen meditation. And two things happen. And one is that you fall asleep very quickly. We call this we call this the lazy Zen. The other one is that your mind cannot, however hard you try, it's just going to keep moving around. And we call that the monkey mind. Okay, monkey mind. So that's why it's important that we do some exercise before we sit, right? If you wake up in the morning and you just sit down for 5 minutes, you're going to fall asleep. By doing exercising, improving the circulation, unblocking the chi, now we have some raw material. And when you sit, you don't fall asleep. Even if you sit 50 minutes, you don't fall asleep because you have enough oxygen into your brain to keep going. The other problem is the monkey mind, and that's a lot harder. All right. So we'll work on that too. All right. So if I keep talking, we won't do anything here. Right. And it's too easy for you. All right. So now we come to the second part. Again, we're doing exercise, but this time we focus on the joints. And it's not just the joints, it's actually the energy points around the joints. Okay. So we talk about the six energy lines that originated from the hand, and the six energy lines that originated from the toes, right? These are the extremities. And so we talk about the heart, like the mental heart, the pericardium, which would like the physical heart, and then the thumb would be like the lung. So across the wrist, there's three energy points. Across the elbow, there's three energy points. On the shoulder, there's a whole bunch. All right. So that's what we're going to work on now is doing joint exercise as a way of exercising our yang, our energy. So let's come back to the body. Always come back to the body. Focus on the body, stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Now focus on the center of your palm and then bring up the mind and the body together all the way up to shoulder level. Now focus on the wrist. Rotate the wrist very slowly, but very mindfully. Okay, very mindfully, like you're looking at your bank account, right? If you want to manage your money, you got to know how much money you have. So if you want to manage your mind and your body, you got to know where your mind is and where your body is. So put your body and your mind together. Focus on the wrist, one joint at a time. Observe the change in your body, any heat, any sweat, any numbness, any tightness, any pain. And now we're going to go the other way. Continue to focus on the wrist. Continue to focus on the wrist. Rotate as much as you can on the wrist. And now we're going to bring your hands down, body and mind together. Back again to the shoulder, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, stretch your spine. Bring up the hands together, body and mind together. Now we're going to do the exercise on the elbow. So move the elbow. Again, focusing on the three energy points across the inside the elbow. Feel the change in your body, one at a time. All right. It's no different whether we're meditating on a breath or meditating on a body. It's always one at a time. One breath at a time, one movement at a time. Okay? One at a time. Now we're going to go the other way. Make sure your mind and the body are together. One at a time. Okay. Now bring your hands down and relax. Okay. Now we're going to go from a wrist to elbow to a shoulder. Open that shoulder. Relax the shoulder. Focus on the center of your palm, crossing your hand. Bring up your hand slowly above your head. And then now stretch. And then bring the hands down. As you bring your hands down, I want you to fold up your wrist as if you're touching the wall. Okay, now come down, touching the wall. Relax. Back again. Follow the hand all the way up. Stretch. Coming down, fold up your wrists, touching the wall, relax, back again one at a time. We're meditating. Stretch, open, come down, relax, back again, focus, following the hand, up, stretch, open, touching the wall, one last time, up, stretch, down, relax. Now go the other way, open first, follow the hand, stretch, come down, follow the hand, stretch, and come down, follow the hand, stretch, and then come down one last time. Open, follow the hand, stretch, and then come down. Now open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, bring up your hands, get ready, bring back, open it as far as you can. Feel that shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder. Now let go of the pain, come back to the center of your hand. That's mindfulness. Bring it up, open the shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder, let go of that pain, come back to the center of the palm. Bring it up, open the shoulder, feel the shoulder, come back to the center of the palm. Open and back. One last time. Bring it up, all the way back. Feel the pain, accept the pain, and then come back to the center of the palm. Bring the hands in the back. Bring it up, stretch, come down, back, stretch, come down, back, stretch, and come down, back. One last time. Stretch and come down. Relax. Focus on the breathing. Tell your body that the dangers are gone. We're back in the cave now. We're ready for some relaxation, rest and digest. Okay, bring back your immune system, bring back your digestive system. So you notice that as soon as I talk about mindful your breath and get back to the restorative, I always say two things: bring back the bring back the digestive system, and bring back the immune system. Right? I always say that, and the reason is that when you're under stress, the cortisol, you need that cortisol to survive, but then the cortisol has some side effect, right? It turns off your digestion. So people who are under a lot of stress, they cannot really digest food. The mouth is too dry. They don't have the saliva. The inside is all messed up. But the other thing is that you have no natural cure for inflammation in your body, because the cortisol is as a steroid, is the one that is anti-inflammatory. But when you have too much of it, your body develops this resistance to it, and now it doesn't work. Right? So you have to train your body back and forth like this. Okay. Now we're going to do 3 consecutive exercise before we meditate again. All right. So the first one, and all 3 of these are part of the Shaolin martial art practice, what's called the internal energy. And I don't know if you ever seen Cantonese opera or the Chinese opera, where they when they open, they have a guy that comes out, makes some somersault, and then they bring out a knife, a sword, and then they split up the sword into 2. That's what this one is. Open the shoulder, one sword in front, one sword stretch out, keeping the stationary. Okay, separating the left brain from the right brain. Bring up the right hand, follow the palm, follow the hand. Now bring it as far back as you can, as if somebody's attacking you from the back and you're using this blade to protect yourself. You feel the shoulder, and then you come back. Sit up straight. Left hand, as far back as you can. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Let go of the pain. Come back. Right hand, open. Back to the left. Left, open. Feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Right hand, open. Feel the pain, accept that pain, and then let it go. Left hand, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit up straight. Right hand, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Okay, we're going to do one more time. Open to the right, open, and to the left, and then one last time. Open, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Sit back to the sitting position. Restore your body one breath at a time. Okay. Now the next one is called throwing the fist. It's actually another practice that they use to increase the reach when they punch somebody, right? But this has a way of loosening up your joint, but more importantly, it creates the circulation of chi. So what goes out must come back, right? Action equal to reaction. So what goes out is what we call yang, and what comes back is what we call yin. All right. So open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, bring up your right hand, form a fist, follow the fist. Okay, get ready. Up and back and up and back. Down, sit up straight. Down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. One last time. Up, up, down, and down. Now open your shoulder, two hands, following both fists. Okay, get ready. One, feel the vibration coming back. Action equal to reaction. Two, three, four, and five. Okay, back to the breathing, one breath at a time. Let your body settle. And now we come to the third exercise. The third exercise has a very simple name. It's called loosening up the shoulder. Actually, what it is that it energizes the vagus nerve. Okay, the vagus nerve. And so it starts from the lower part of your neck to the shoulder to the back, and it continues into your internals. So that's why we need to do deep breathing, exercising the diaphragm. Okay, so it's to exercise the vagus nerve in its entirety. All right, so open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, identify the two energy point here called the gate to the cloud. Put your thumb there. You don't have to push it in, just leave it. Roll up your fingers, huh? Okay, close your eye. Don't look at me. Don't look at anybody. Now focus on your shoulder. Lift up your shoulder as if you're lifting it all the way to your ear. You notice your shoulder and your elbow are working together, right? Now you take your elbow and you bring it back as a way of opening up your shoulder, as if you're just squeezing that tennis ball in your back. And then you lower your shoulder, relax. Now you take your elbow and you point it forward. Now you're curling up your shoulder. You're looking down. You're bending your back. Okay. Now everything is used now. Now as you bring up your elbow, you take a deep breath, gentle. You breathe in, and you're lifting up your head, looking up at the ceiling. You're opening up your shoulder, and then as you come down, you breathe out. And then back to the starting position. Breathe in, open, breathe out, relax. Back to the starting position. Breathe in, open, breathe out. 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 Breathe in, open, and breathe out. Breathe in, open, and then breathe out. One last time. Starting position. Bring up the elbow, breathe in. Looking at the ceiling, open your shoulder, come down, breathe out. And relax, lower your hand. Really feel your body, feel your breath. Okay, all right, so now we're ready to do our second meditation. And this time we're gonna this is a special kind of meditation. It's called a metta meditation, loving kindness meditation. So yesterday, a friend of mine called me from Hong Kong, a really good friend, and at one point she actually renunciated and became a Buddhist nun, and but it only lasted a couple of weeks when she found out that her mother was sick. And so she went back to Hong Kong and discovered that her mother actually was diagnosed having brain cancer. And it turns out that runs in the family. Her grandfather had brain cancer too. And so she ended up taking care of mom for a year and a half. And she passed away. And that was before the pandemic even. And so for 3 years, we lost contact. It turns out that her mother had left her a lot of property, and they were all in China. And so she ended up having to go into China. And then now she discovered why her mom was so miserable, because all the people in the village were trying to take the property away from her. And so I said, the reason, we believe that, I mean, it's not a belief, it's a truth that cancer is not a disease that you get attacked from the outside. It's a disease because your body can no longer support life form. It's just that simple. And when your body can no longer support life form, the cells would degenerate just for survival. The cancer cell is trying to survive. That's it. So the question is, why would you have so much negative energy in your body to a point where your body cannot survive? I was telling the story about in San Francisco, we have close to 9,000 homeless, and some of them are drug addicts, some of them are mental, and some of them are runaways, people that come from the West or the South or whatever, and they grew up in a family. They might even be abused as a child, and they run away. They're not even 18 years old, and they're on the street. And so those are like cancer cell. When the family has no, it's not environment that they can survive, they change in order to survive. So this is the problem with now, is that you really, this is the most important the most important things that we can do in the body is to find a way to relieve those negative energy, because when you have this negative energy inside of you, you're going to have to pay, right? So remember the book called the, I forgot. I actually looked it up yesterday. I said you need to read this book, and I thought the name of the book is The Body Remembers, but it's not. It's not. It's actually a different name, but it doesn't matter. And there's a lot of study on how the body reacts to this negative energy. Okay, so here what we want to do is cultivate that positive energy in us. It's probably the most important thing you can do in this hour and a half worth of training, is how to cultivate that positive energy. Now, that positive energy is what we call loving kindness, and the building block for that is gratitude. So first we have to develop, we call the gratitude in the body. Then we have to learn how to be gracious and learn how to share that positive energy. Okay, so thank you so much. Yes, that is the name of the book. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. It's a very good book. Okay, and the body keeps the score. Okay, so if you're not mindful of the negative energy in you, the body keeps the score. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. I want you to think about someone. I want you to think about someone that really needs your positive energy. Now these days, I'm thinking of my son and my daughter. They live in Los Angeles. I visit them. I visit them often. I just haven't been visiting them since I come back from Japan. And the reason I think about them so much is that I used to have a Mini. I love that Mini, and I gave it to my son. So he drove it for a while until he says, "No, I need to buy my own car." So he bought a a Fiat Spider. You know, the kind where you press on the pedal and it goes 100 miles in no time. And then he gave the Mini to my daughter. Now both of them are 30 years old, 30 plus years old. Big, they're adults. I shouldn't have to worry about them. But I'm a father. I worry about them. I worry about my son driving the sports car, and I worry about my daughter driving the car that she inherited from him, knowing that she hasn't had any experience in China. So I think about them all the time, you know. So what do I do? Whenever I do meditation, I think about them. I want to give them positive energy, right? Or you can give positive energy to someone that you know who are actually in the hospital. Or you can give positive energy to someone who really pissed you off this morning, whoever it is. Turns out that's the best way. That's the best way to restart the relationship, is to give them positive energy, even though we don't deserve it. All right. So have that person in your mind. Okay. That is your target today. It's not about helping them, it's about helping you. Okay. Now I want you to come back to the body, one step at a time. Open up the shoulder. Okay. Go through the 7 parts. All right. Starting with the legs, the hand, the spine, the shoulder, the forehead and the chin, the eyelid, and then the tip of your tongue. Back again to your breathing. Know that I'm breathing in. Know that I'm breathing out. Know that I'm breathing in. Know that I'm breathing out. Okay, now we're picking up where we left off earlier. So I want you to feel the warmth in your belly. I want you to envision this glowing energy in your belly. That's the positive energy. Now, when you breathe in, I want you to start at the bottom of your spine as if you're bringing the energy up all the way to the top of your head. And don't leave it at the top of your head, okay? And just let it go. Let that positive energy go. Focus on the person that you wanted to share that positive energy with. Give all that loving kindness to that person, whether they're your siblings or your offsprings, your spouse, your parents, your friend, or your enemies, especially your enemies. Give them the positive energy. Now come back to the forehead. Notice the light in your eyelid. That's the positive energy. You want to bring that positive energy back to your belly button as you breathe out. When you breathe in, feel the warmth in your belly. Bring that positive energy up. You feel you feel the positive energy. You feel the warmth. You even feel the light sometimes when you do this. Bring it all the way to the top of that. Let it go out. Let it go out. Spread that positive energy around. And then come back. Focus on the light. Bring it back slowly into your belly button. And then bring it back up again. Now, as we do this, we're going to chant this mantra called the metta mantra. It's a very powerful mantra. I want you to just follow me. And now before we were working on the vagus nerve, which is the 10th cranial nerve. Now we're working on the 9th cranial nerve, which is at the bottom of your throat. As you come up, sati, let all the energy go out. When you come back, sata. When you come up, Suki, focus, focus. When you come back, Hantu. Sate means all. Sata means being. Suki means happy and peaceful. Handu means I wish. Okay? Or you're making a vow. Right? All right, get ready 3 times. Sabe Sata Suki Hantu Sabe Sata Suki Hantu Sabe Sata Suki Hantu Sabe Sata Suki Antu Sata Suki Antu Sata Suki Sata Suki Sata Sata I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Put your hands together, fingers all touching. Put that in front of your chest. This is what we call a hand gesture, a mudra, that represents our gratitude and our humbleness. May all beings be free of negative energy and animosity. May all beings be free of spiritual suffering. May all beings be free of physical suffering. May all beings be at peace and protected with positive energy. Okay? All right. So we got half an hour left and it's time to come back to the exercise. So we're going to do one more meditation before we finish, and then we have one floor exercise that we do. We alternate between the 2 weeks, week after week. So today we're back to the Qigong exercise called the Yi Jing Jing. All right. So before we do that, I wanted to show you how to massage your head. Right. Make sure that your energy to your head, and then learn to massage your fingers as well. All right. And the feet as well. Okay. Learn how to massage. All right. So now, the most important energy point, the 3 energy points are important for your brain health. This one is called the palm of the wind. Wind means nerve. This thing is whatever you cannot see, cannot taste, cannot smell, and only feel. Okay, so right here. So now this is the important energy point. There's another important energy point right below the ear. You can feel the cavity. So I want you to use your 4 fingers and just kind of pull from one to the other, massage. Pull from one to the other, massage, and then massage, and then one last time, massage. Now, there's another energy point right above the ear, but now you're not in the cavity as much as you're just on top of the skull. So I want to do the same thing and put it down, and then put it down. And then while you're at it, just massage that cavity right here. And then now do the same thing on the other side. First massage, and then pull from the bottom of your ear. Okay. Okay, now top of the ear, on top of the skull. Okay, now open your shoulder, put your hands together, lock your fingers, put that behind your head, and then lean, and then, okay, the top of the head facing the sky. Now use your thumb, put that on those two cavity, and just push it down with your thumb. Lean back with the neck, as if you're pinching a water hose. And then relax, put that on the, use your right hand, put that on the left hand side, push down with your 4 fingers, and then grab that piece of muscle and pull it towards the right, gently, okay, gently. And then as if you're opening up a channel. Same thing, push down and then pull it to the right. Okay, now if you're doing this for the first time, you feel a little tingling on the top of the head because the chi is going up there. So now it's time to take your hand, like like your hand is like the claw, right? And just massage your forehead. Forehead is very important. Top of the head, back of the head, back to the neck. Second time. So this is something you want to do during the day when you're watching TV or when you're done with a Zoom session, right? And you want to be doing this, okay? Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do is learn how to tap the top of the head. Excuse me. And we do that by opening our shoulder, relax your shoulder, lean back the forehead, tucking the chin. So the top of the head is on top of the central nervous system. Again, you take your 10 fingers, you put that on top, and 30 times. Okay, now massage again. Okay, now we massage the center part of your palm by using your thumb and just kind of press on it. This is actually a very important energy point. It's called the palace of labor. This one would help with your high blood pressure as well as improving your heart right here. Now you put that together. You put that together, right? And then you massage your face, massage the head, back of the head. And now we're going to learn to massage the ear. So there are a couple of energy points that's important if you have high blood pressure. This one right here. Okay, put your thumb on the upper part. Divide your ears into 3 parts. This is important. Then the middle. And then the lower part. Back to the tip, the edge, the ear loop. Now use your hand, put that in the back. So energy points in the back is also important for your high blood pressure. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now we're going to learn to massage the fingers one at a time. Okay. Massage the joints. Okay. Now you're going to find that if you have arthritis, and massaging your fingers actually help arthritis, because arthritis is inflammation. Inflammation is a result of blockage of your chi, and the blockage often comes from at the extremities, the fingers. And so this is good. This is a very good exercise. It's a simple exercise. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to learn to massage the inside of the fingers, so putting that together, and then the other side. And now we're going to learn to do this one exercise, tapping. So there's energy points on the fingertips. So 30 times. This is good for your brain as well as your heart. Okay, get ready. Go. 30 times. Okay, now we're going to learn to do some finger exercise. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, pointing all fingers in towards the front. 4 fingers are the springs. The thumb is the locking the springs. Wind up the springs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so if you have carpal tunnel, this is a good exercise. Now, if you have frozen shoulder, the next one is very good too. Open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, forming the lotus hand, middle fingers and thumb. Put that on the gate to the cloud. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. 1, back of the hand facing the camera. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now we're going to spend a little bit of time working on the feet. Okay. So oftentimes we forget about the feet. The feet is also it's equally important because um, there are another 6 energy lines. Okay. And so we're going to learn how to massage the feet. So first we're going to massage the toes. Okay. And then it's important to massage the inside of the toes, especially the big toe in the second one. This has to do with the liver. And again, this is a good point to work on if you have high blood pressure. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to learn to do is massage this energy point right here. So this is, you have this ball area. Below the ball, you have a cavity. This is called the gushing spring. This is very important energy point. So you put your thumb here and you push on that, and then at the same time you massage the ball area. Okay. Okay. And now you massage the heel. You form a squeeze, a pair prior. And then now this is the important part to massage, is between the heel and this ball area, this arch, and you just go like this all the way. Okay, so this is very important. So the 2 energy line that goes through here, one is named after the splint and one is named after the kidney. So the kidney is the water element and the splint is the earth element, right? Okay, now we're going to learn to massage around the angle, both below and behind. Okay, and then we're going to do some scraping between the ankle and the knee. And then you find the bone, right? And then you use this part, the knuckle, and just scrape. Okay, now this is important if you find yourself having swollen feet. Swollen feet is a very bad sign. Okay, swollen feet is a very bad sign because it's the lymph node that is responsible for returning water, right? So if your lymph node is blocked, which is part of the splint energy line, then it's going to cut down on your immune system. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do one exercise called mixing the water and fire, and I'll explain that in a minute. But the idea is that the center of the palm is fire, that's the heart, and the center of the bottom of your feet, not the geometric center, but this right here, is the kidney. That's water. So we bend back the toe, we form empty hand, we put that on top of each other 30 times. Okay, this is very important. Continue. Okay, I'll explain the water and fire in a minute. Okay, back to the right. Massage the toes. Massage the ball area, but at the same time, put your thumb. Oops. Yeah, let me turn on so you can see it better. Okay, put your thumb right here. Okay, and then massage. And then massage the heel. Massage the arch, right? I cannot emphasize more than the importance of massaging the arch. Okay, now massage below and behind the ankle. And then massage below the bone between the knee and the ankle using the scrape. Okay, now mixing the water and fire. Get ready. Go. Continue. Okay, all right. Okay, so what does it mean by mixing the water and fire? So the concept is one where the Chinese think of the internals in three sections: that what's above the diaphragm and what's below and above the belly button. What's above is the lung and the heart, and what's below the belly buttons are the kidney and um, um, the bladder and everything else, right? And then what's in between are the liver and the splint and a lot of stuff. So they believe that the source of illness is when the qi is blocked and you have too much fire on top and you have too much coolness on the bottom. So the energy cannot travel. Okay. Now this is not a concept that you can explain that to your Western doctor. No way. Okay. And so they have this exercise that they do where they clap the bottom of your feet. The two energy point that's important. One responsible for the water element that's below the belly button, and one is responsible for the fire element, which is above the diaphragm. Okay. So let me show you another exercise that is also like what we call the mixing the water and fire. So this is the one where we sit, we stand, open the shoulder. All right, now we take the right hand, we put that all the way in the back. That's fire. We take the left hand, we use the back, we put that in right here where the adrenal glands are. That's water. And at the same time, we rotate, okay, 30 times. Okay. Okay, so this is also a very good exercise. It's also called mixing water and fire. Okay, so now we're going to do this Qigong exercise passed down by Bodhidharma. It's actually a yogi exercise, okay? Bodhidharma was a North Indian yogi. And this actually, it's amazing exercise and it energizes all the yang energy lines. But one of the things that it does is that it builds up your muscle, okay? Build up your muscle. And we know how important that is as we age, right? Okay, so it comes in 14 parts. And if you don't want to do this, it's okay, just meditate, all right? But it's a very good exercise. Now we start with the feet at the same width of shoulder. We have to open the shoulder. And that way the top of the shoulder, the energy point called the well of the shoulder is on top of the spring, right? Because remember we call this the gushing spring. So you have to do that. Then what you do is you turn your toe inward and you loosen up your knee, okay? Remember I said when we sit, we don't use the fire element. When we stand, we use the fire element. So you don't want to lock it, okay? You want to loosen up, but you don't want to do this. This would hurt your knee. And so just loosening up, that way you're activating the energy line in the back, okay? And again, open the shoulder. Now the first one is called spirit boosting palm. So you open your shoulder, the center of the palm facing the earth. And when I say go, I want you to examine your mind. Make sure your mind is at the center of your palm, and then you just push straight down like this, okay? And by doing that, you send a shock wave through your central nervous system all the way to the top of your head. Get ready? Go. And then relax. Now, it's very important that every time you come back and you relax and you focus on your breathing. And one breath. And two breaths. Second time. Spirit boosting palm. Get ready. Go. And relax. Two breath and then back. Now make sure that you're not looking down like this, okay? Because you want that top of the head to be on top of the central nervous system. So when you send a shock wave, it goes all the way to your top. Okay, now get ready. Open your shoulder. Okay, now look straight ahead. Get ready. Go. And then relax. One breath. Two breath. Now the next one is called pointing. Pointing is the same word that we use for the thumb. So you take your thumb and you use it to point towards right here. Okay, there's an energy point right here. You don't have to touch it. You just have to form a semicircle. And now you roll up your four fingers. Imagine putting 2 buckets of water on your thumb and you lift up your thumb. This one activates the yang energy line that we name after the bladder. Okay, so modern days, we talk about detox. Well, this one will help you do that. And then relax. Don't lower your hand. Focus. Two breath. Second time, roll up your fingers, lift up your thumb. And then relax. Back to the breathing. One last time. And then relax. Lower your hand. The next one is called beginner's mind. It's like the baby, okay? Baby, holding the thumb. You put the thumb in the middle of your palm. You roll up your fingers and you squeeze your thumb. It's the opposite of what we just did. And then relax. Don't lower your hand. Open your hands. Back again. Squeeze your thumb and then relax. Third time, put the thumb in the middle of the palm and squeeze your thumb and then relax and lower your hand now. Back to the breathing. Now you put your thumb, your fist together like this, okay? And you put that below your belly button. And you look straight ahead and you take a deep breath from this energy point called the C of the chi all the way to here, which is called the middle of being. Okay, get ready. Breathe in. And then relax. Now we're going to focus on the back. The back has this yang energy line. All the yang energy line that we work today right here are the one that are facing the sun. So this one is named after the bladder, right? Similar to your large intestine, is also important for detox. So you bring back your elbow, you focus on your back, and you squeeze your back. You open your back as if you're cracking your back, and then you relax. Back to the breathing. Second time. Okay, like stretch your back, and then relax. Look straight ahead. And third time. Crack, spread your back, and then relax. Next one is called top of the head. Open your shoulder, lift up your fist, open the fingers. Now I want you to learn how to roll your fist. So you roll your fist by mindful of the number of joints. First joint, second joint. And when you do that, you notice that the tip of the fingers are pushing in the middle of the palm. Now that's what you want. Then you lock it with your thumb, open your shoulder, and you squeeze. And then open your hands, relax. Second time, one joint, two joint, and you squeeze and then relax. Third time, open the shoulder and you squeeze and then you relax. Okay, now this one is called stabbing the shoulder. So there's some trick to it. One is that you have to open your shoulder. Two is that you imagine you're grabbing your dagger and you're stabbing your shoulder. At the same time, you feel like your back of your neck, where we were working on before, called the wind up, the palm of the wind, it tightened up because you're working on this energy called the name after the gallbladder, and you're sending chi to your brain. Okay, very important. Open the shoulder, grab the dagger, and stab your shoulder. You feel it? Yeah, and then relax. Back to the breathing. Second time, open the shoulder and then stab and then relax. One last time. Open the shoulder and you stab and then relax. Okay. The next one is called the cross. Now, mindful that you're not punching, you're pushing. Okay. So first thing you have to do is back to the wrist, the 3 energy points in the wrist. So you rotate your wrist completely and thoroughly. Okay, then you roll your fist. Remember how you roll a fist now? 1 joint, 2 joint, lock it with your thumb, take a deep breath and push and relax. Second time, wrist, fist, take a deep breath, push and then relax. One last time, wrist, fist, push and relax. Next one is called the front hanging. So it's like you have to lock your elbow as if you're hanging some clothes on your arm. Back again, wrist, fist, take a deep breath and push and then relax. Second time, wrist, fist, take a deep breath and push and then relax. One last time, wrist, fist, push and then relax. Totally relax. Then raise up your hand, look up, imagine you have a bar, grab the bar, and now use as much strength as you have and you do a pull up and then relax. You don't use it, you lose it, okay? Second time, pull yourself up and then relax. Pull yourself up and then relax. Okay, the next one is similar. I call this ripping the phone book. I imagine you have a thick book, you grab it and you rip it open and then relax. Second time, rip it open and then relax. One last time, rip it open and then relax. Okay, now this, we're going to call this swallowing to the dantian. So I forgot to remind you to relax and check your saliva, because now if your mouth is dry, that means you didn't relax enough. Okay, so collect all your saliva and then swallow all the way to the dantian. Swallow. Okay, now is a good time to check your goat stand. Okay, make sure your toes are pointing inward and your knees are loosening up. You're going to maintain that knee. Okay, don't lock your knee. You go straight down, back of the hand touching. Now don't lock your knee. Okay, now looking straight at, looking down. You don't dip your head, just parallel to the head. Now we're going to squeeze the fist 3 times. 1 time, relax. Second time, relax. Third time, relax. Now flip the hand so the palm of the hand is facing the sky. Focus on the center of your palm. Keep your knee in place. Okay, don't lock your knee. Now bring up your hand, take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Rotate your hand, lower your knee as if you have a big rock in the front and you push. You stand up, close your eye, imagine the universe in front of you. Take a deep breath, swallow the universe. And then relax your mind and your breath. Feel your body. Slowly walking back to your sitting position, one step at a time. And we're going to spend the next 5 minutes again paying attention to our breathing, but this time I want to show you, I want to show you how to let go of your breath. Remember I always said, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Letting go is the most important in a spiritual practice. Back to the body, stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin, relax the eyelid, keep the tip of the tongue between the teeth and the roof of your mouth. Focus on our breathing. One breath at a time. Feel the in breath. Feel the out breath. Now imagine you're next to your favorite beach. You're observing the water. I want you to be totally relaxed, okay? You can't do this if you're not relaxed. Looking at the beach, notice the waters rising up. Really, really nice. Notice that the waters are going back out into the ocean. I want you to synchronize your breathing with the ocean. As soon as you know that you're breathing in, imagine that the waters are coming up. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, imagine the waters are going back into the ocean. When you breathe in, the water rises. When you breathe out, the water recedes. Yeah, you notice that in the ocean, when the water comes up, it comes up all the way up. And then it doesn't go back right away. It's as if the whole world comes to a standstill. And then eventually go back into the ocean. When it goes all the way back to the ocean, it doesn't come back right away, as if the world is coming to a standstill again. And then eventually the water rises. Now I want you to slowly let go of your breathing. Just be an observer of your breathing. And if you let go of your breathing, the water is the same as the breath is the same as the water. The in breath, and when you finish with the in breath, it doesn't go to the out breath right away. It just kind of hangs in there. And then eventually the body exhale. And when you finish exhale, it doesn't breathe in right away. It just kind of hangs in there. So I want you to observe and follow the out breath. Follow the out breath. Easier to do on the out breath. Just follow the out breath. And when you feel that you finish out breath, make a determination not to inhale. Not to inhale. Let your body inhale on its own. Just wait for it. Focus entirely on that empty space. And as soon as your body inhale, follow, as if you're following the ocean. And then eventually exhale, follow. And then the body finish exhale. Do not inhale. Do not participate in your breathing. Let your body inhale, breath, take the breath on its own. Okay? Learn how to let go. Let go even your own breathing. 5 minutes. Do the best you can. Okay, open your eyes. So this is it's the beginning. It's the beginning of a spiritual practice to understand what the scientists have just started to understand. I don't know how many of you study physics. And in physics, we have something called the double slit experiment. So just imagine that you have something called an electron gun, and you're shooting out electrons, and you're shooting it through a slit. So you imagine that these particles come out, go through the slit, and will end on a screen somewhere, right? Well, they put two slits, and they shoot it through the slits. And you would think that, well, then the particle would end up here, or the particle would end up here. Then what they discover is not the case at all, that those particles are actually waves. And so these waves go through the slit and they form interference pattern. They couldn't figure out why a particle would have that kind of behavior. So they eventually come up with something called the particle wave duality. This is what the modern scientists think. And basically, it's a very profound concept. This is what we think is particle. So when I say that this is solid, inside is liquid, and all that, that's particle. But the fact that it is particle is our perception that is particle, is our attachment to it that makes it a particle. It can also be energy. And so the beginning of this practice, letting go of our breathing, ultimately leads to the realization that our existence is beyond this body. It's a very profound understanding of our existence. And the scientists are beginning to understand that now. So I hope I live long enough to see how the modern science and the original science come together. Okay. All right. So I'll see you all next week. Thank you for that. I get a lot out of this. Okay. You know I do, right? All right. So I'll see you all next week. Thank you for all the donations. Okay. 下個星期一見吓。Okay. Bye bye. 阿彌陀佛。Okay. Bye bye.